Hi, children. I hope you all are safe at home. Without me, you cannot survive in this world. Please save me. As a student, raise your voice against the people who are killing me. Save me, children. Save this world. Why trees are important? Trees are important because they give life for us. How long does it take a tree to grow to its full size? Some trees will take 1 year, some trees will take more than 3 years. But what we people do, we just cut down trees. A tree take more than 3 or 4 years to grow to its full size. But these modern equipments will cut down a tree within an hour. The poem Killing a Tree is written by Dr. G. Patel. G. Patel is one of the prominent Indian poets. His famous works include Evening, Forensic Medicine, and From Bombay Central. And this poem is taken from his poetry collection Poems published in 1966. Let's move on to the poem. On killing a tree. The poet emphasizes the process of killing a tree. A lot of work has to be done in order to root it out completely. It cannot be accomplished by merely cutting it with a knife. This tree has grown strong with the help of sunlight, water, and nutrition of the soil for a countless years. Even the bark of the tree give rise to leaves. The boughs sprouts new twigs and leaves. In a short period, they grow into a new tree. So, to kill it completely, one should take out its roots completely from the soil. Then they should be exposed to sunlight and heat. Only then the tree will be completely killed. Let's move on to the poem. The first stanza. It takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. It will not take much time to kill a tree. If we take a knife, with help of that knife, we cannot kill a big tree because this tree has grown for many years. The roots were very strong under the earth, and it also fed by the sunlight, air, and water. If we cut down a tree, the leprous hide, what is the leprous hide is? A discolored bark of the tree. The discolored bark of the tree will come. So when we cut the bark of the tree, it also gives a leaves, sprouting leaves. Sprouting leaves are nothing but the leaves which comes out of the bark, the small twigs which comes out of the tree, the new leaves which comes from the twigs. So if we cut a tree, the tree is not completely cut down because the roots were under the soil. It gives again a growth for a tree. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. If we cut down a tree, not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal. The bleeding bark is compared with the blood. The poet is comparing the bleeding bark. When we cut a tree, the something which bleeds from the bark of the tree is compared with the blood. So if we cut down the tree close to the ground, we will not notice. If we don't check, again some twigs will come out of that and it will give a growth to another tree. It expands again to a former size. The size will be very big. The tiny twigs will come out of the tree again. No, the root is to be pulled out one of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied and pulled out, snapped out or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. If we cut down a tree, again it grows. So the poet says, if we pull out the root from the earth, the root will go inside the earth and it stick with the soil and it acts like an anchor. Anchor is which is very strong. So the root is compared with the anchoring earth. So if we want to cut down the full tree, we have to pull out the root. We have to tie, we have to pull out, we have to snap out, and we have to remove the root from the earth cave. The strength of the trees, so then only the strength of the trees will exposed from the earth. Because this tree has grown many years, so the root is very strong. It get tight inside the earth cave. So if we want to cut down a tree, we have to pull out the root entirely. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So after we pull out the entire root from the earth cave, we have to leave this tree in the hot sun and air. Then the tree is dead and there is no chance of regrowth since its root has been completely pulled out. Twisting and withering, and then it is done. What is meant by then it is done? After we pull out the entire root from the earth cave, the tree is completely killed. So think, children, it takes many years for a tree to grow, but if we cut a tree, again another tree comes out from it. It is very hard. The roots are very hard. When we pull out the entire root, the tree will die. So you are the future generation. You can raise voice to avoid killing trees in this world. Let's move on to the figure of speech. The poetic devices. The first one is, it takes much time. Takes and time are alliteration words. Takes and time are alliteration words. I already told you alliteration words are the words which starts with the same letter or same sound. They are called alliteration words. The bleeding bark will heal is a personification. Here the bleeding bark is personified. The bleeding bark is compared with a blood. One of the anchoring earth. Here one of the anchoring earth. The root is compared with a anchor, anchoring earth. Here the root is metaphor. One of the anchoring earth. Here the root is compared with the anchoring earth. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson, children. Thank you.